Howdy folks, TJ here. I'm going to start a new little bit of a series since I've really been enjoying laser discs. I thought I would start doing a little bit of a TJ type review on some videos that I've been collecting. And just because I watch it on LaserDisc doesn't mean that this can't roll over to if you've got this movie on VHS or DVD or Blu-ray. I don't know if they have them on Blu-ray yet or 4K, any of that, but we're going to talk about the version that's on LaserDisc. And then I'm going to watch the movie and then come back and maybe give my 2 cents, 3 cents worth, 1 cent, whatever cents. And I thought it'd be kind of fun. And the reason I'm doing it is because I'm so excited on this movie that I just recently picked up. As you've been watching my last video, we did a really cool bulk buy from, I had to drive about 2.5 hours that direction and 2.5 hours back and picked up a lot of boxes, but it ended up being about 750 laser discs plus 2 players, and I've been slowly enjoying a couple of movies every weekend. And I didn't think this one was in the list, but it was. Jason and the Argonauts. One of my favorite movies. Really cool movie. Freaked the shit out of me when I was a kid. Oh, the skeletons that were in this were really freaky. But anyway, so I thought I'd do my first review, I guess. And before I do the review, I'm going to kind of take the camera off the tripod and do a little bit of a view of my home theater, which is just our living room. And so you can kind of see where my wife and I enjoy our movies. And then we'll go into, I'm going to actually open this up and maybe give you a behind the camera pointing down at view of me reading some of the information in here so you can kind of maybe get the same experience. So that's the goal of this first video. But let me first take the camera off and position the lighting over here a little bit. I want to show you where my player is and a little bit on this room. Thought it'd be kind of fun to do that. So let's see, let me point this lighting towards where I want to ultimately show you. But let's take this off and we'll kind of play around. So we'll enter, and yeah, my wife's got an exercise bike in this room. So as we come in our front door, we've got these steps that go up. And I love putting my shirts and hats on the banister, and my wife hates that. But we've been married over 30 years, so we do things that we both drive each other crazy. So anyway, here's the entrance into basically our living room. And so we've got this exercise bike and various furniture. We've got most of our videos in baskets, wicker type of baskets. And we've got a big 120-inch pull-up screen for when it's projector night. I've got one of those Nebula projectors that we enjoy. And this is just a view going out our front window. Here's the tripod that was pointed at me a second ago. But this is our big main TV. Yeah, we still use one of these big old cabinets. We come from that generation where we love those type of things. But it's really good. I forget how much the heck that thing cost, but it was like $5 grand or something. It was a long time ago. There's a furniture place up in Nevada City that we used to shop at. So we are limited on the size TV that we want. I told my wife, we could put a big 100-inch TV right there. And she's all, yeah, no, you're not. So that's about a 40-inch TV. It's got some bezel to it. I could technically maybe fit a 43-inch 4K TV in there. That's about max because it doesn't have much of a bezel. So maybe one day that's what we'll do. Or I'll get a better projector that can show during the day and I can use my big pull-up screen. Or put a electronic one that goes and lowers it down. That's an option. So anyway, we've got some movies in those drawers there. We've got lots of movies kind of strewn around. That's my fly tying desk. Yeah, I'm a fly fisherman. So we really do need to figure out something for storage. For right now, I have a few of my laser discs in that box there. Let me back up before I show the player. So we'll come from this room as from the kitchen, I guess. So back of our sofa. So that's kind of where my wife and I sit and enjoy watching movies from basically this vantage point. There's my wife, Yeah, there's typically me. Yeah, she's always on the left, I'm always on the right. Big old scratching post. We've got cats, as you've seen from probably some of my pictures. And pan around. We live up in the mountains of California, so we do have this is a propane stove, actually. Banister that goes upstairs. Wife has a lot of quilts and stuff. And then on the back here, we have our phonograph that I've recently shown in the video, and your typical wall decor. And that's an antique cabinet there that we store a lot of our stuff in. Anyway, so yep, that's where we watch our movies. So positioned around the room, let's go to this table first. I've got one rear speaker there. It's wired. It's an old KLH system. So it's got these little woofers and satellites or whatever, tweeters on them. Got one down here on the floor, which I do need to raise up to probably about that level, so it's better for the ear. Pointed to the back of the couch. And then we have one of the KLH speakers there for the left channel there, left front. And then KLH for the center, which is right above the TV. Hello! And there's the right speaker. And then the bass box is right down there. All wired, connected to... I'm getting down on the floor. Oh, I'm old. So, excuse my cough. There's the KLH. It's a R5100. I've had it for a very long time. I forget when I purchased it. Late 1900s, early 2000s, something like that. It's pretty old, but it's been decommissioned and sitting in my back bedroom for years. And now that I got the LaserDisc, I thought, you know what the heck, this will work fine. And I connected it up, and it gives us surround sound, which is cool. And then there's the Pioneer, the first one that I recently purchased on eBay. And our Blu-ray player with some Wii stuff that we really don't use. I'm going to have to get that out of there one of these days. I just don't have the heart to do it yet. Maybe I'll connect it up to an office TV or something. Anyway, so that's where all the magic happens. And so anyway, let me get up. So let's point this back towards here for now. You kind of got to pan around the room. So what we're going to do is readjust the lighting has to be adjusted because everything will be dark. So anyway, we're going to try to do a little bit of a review on Jason and the Argonauts, but first I'm going to read to you a little bit and show you some of the inside covers of this, and I thought it'd be fun, so cool. Okay, welcome to Jason and the Argonauts, an opening here, and my clock should chime here soon. So we've got a it's not really super old, but it's an old chime type of clock that's going to chime at 4, so you're going to get that. The Criterion Collection, I've heard that name quite a bit in the LaserDisc worlds, and I fortunately received quite a few Criterion Collection movies in my recent buy, so that's cool. I'll let you enjoy the ambiance of the clock. Okay, Jason and the Argonauts. Excuse my cough. I had to go trim bushes and stuff today. My wife forced me to do some forced labor today at home, and now I've got bad allergies. Jason and the Argonauts. So immediately, really cool front cover. I've seen 2 different covers of this version of this movie, I should say. So this one, I don't know if it's any better than the other one, but anyway, this is the one that I have. So here's the front cover. Hopefully that's coming in okay. Jeez. Here's the back, and you won't be able to read that small text, but I'll read a little bit of it to you. I'm not going to read the whole dang thing, but I thought it would be kind of fun to look at the cover this way. And then, some of these... Oh, yeah! Yeah. Been sealed for a long time. Okay, so here's the inside cover. So it's a nice big opening, and it's got some cool pictures. I'm going to have to take my glasses off, even though I've got those bifocal things. I have a hard time reading. Chapter 11, Chapter 17, Chapter 13, 18, 25. So it looks like it just shows some pictures of a few different chapters. So chapter 11, the Argos. Chapter 13, Talos or Talos. That, I remember that now. That freaked the crap out of me too. Phineas and Harpies. Oh yeah, the Harpies. Yeah. Voyage map. Okay, it's a voyage map. So this is a big map. I get it. Okay, it takes me a few minutes to get it here, but here's a kind of a map, and it shows, whoa, you're traveling around. The clashing rocks. I remember that scene now. I think I've seen this movie maybe as a kid once, and then as an adult once again. Maybe twice again. It's been a long time. Chapter 25, Colchis and the Golden Fleece. Oh yeah, that's the scene that scared the living shit out of a kid. Skeletons, battle with the skeletons. Yep, that was freaky. So here's the inside. Let's just kind of quickly look. It talks about, and it's a CLV disc, so that's cool. Maybe the other one's not CLV, and it's the extended type of laser disc. So it has the titles. I'm not going to read all that stuff to you. But each picture kind of has a little info, so let's read the clashing rocks. The clashing rocks pose the last barrier to the east. Once successfully navigated through, the shifting rocks are forever still. Now I've got to read the skeleton one, the battle with the skeletons. King Aetius, enraged at Jason's theft of the fleece, dispatches an army of skeletons to reclaim the prize and to destroy Jason. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. I'll read this one too. What the hell? Talos, allowed to land on the Isle of Bronze to replenish their stores. The Argonauts soon run afoul of the island's gigantic guardian Talos. Talos. You'll quickly see in my videos I pronounce stuff not right. So if you're one of those people that you want proper pronunciation of stuff, you've landed in the wrong zone here. Long channel. The Argos. Cool. So that's the inside. It's got some cool stuff. The setting in ancient Europe of Jason's search for the Golden Fleece. So this is panned down on where we are. All right. I think you've seen enough of this inner cover. Kind of cool. That's why I like LaserDisc. It gives you a little adventure before the real adventure of the movie. Now, there's a whole lot of text on the back. They're a Criterion Collection, a continuing series of classics and important contemporary films on LaserDisc. And I think I'll just read this part, and then I'm not going to read all this. And I doubt your eyes are going to pick up on here. But it does talk about special features, audio commentary, and some other stuff on here that this LaserDisc set has. So that's cool. And about the transfer, it talks about the different type of transfer it did. Or I should say the one that it used. Has all the cast and credits. 1963, Columbia Pictures. 1992, the Voyager Company under license from. So I guess this must have came out around 92. All right, so Jason and the Argonauts is Ray Harryhausen's magnum opus, scene for scene, shot for shot, and thrill for thrill. It is the best scripted, best acted, and most briskly paced of the renowned fantasy filmmakers' 15 features. Set against the Greek age of heroes, Jason and the Argonauts embraces the vibrant spectacle of the finest historical epics, the fantasy and the lyricism of the Greek legends, and sometimes gentle, occasionally biting charm of modern literary sensibility. It is all neatly bound together by Beverly Cross and Jan Reed's clever, insightful script, Don Chaffee's top direction, and of course, Harryhausen's dazzling special effects. And I'm sorry if I pronounced the names wrong, but that's just the way it goes, right? So there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to have to read before I start the movie. I kind of like to read all that stuff first, get myself set. Anything else I need to read from the back here? I don't think so. You guys know LaserDiscs have a lot of goodies on here, so if you ever get one, read it, enjoy it. Mine looks to be in pretty good condition. Let's take a quick look and just kind of make sure. I haven't looked at the LaserDiscs yet. Oh, lots of little pictures on here. It's so neat. If you look at one from the right angle, you see all the little... So the cool thing here is it does have a nice Jason and the Argonauts label here. Extended play, CLV. So cool. The disc looks fine. And I'll inspect the other one later. But hopefully you've enjoyed my little beginning to the movie. Now I'm going to enjoy it, watch it, make some popcorn. Wife's not home at the moment. She went off for a walk. So while the wife's being physically active and fit, after my pruning that she had me do earlier, which she did a lot of it too, she's more energetic than me. I wanted to enjoy a movie. So that's what I'm going to do. So Jason and the Argonauts, I'm going to enjoy it. See ya. Or I should say, see you after the movie. All right. Have my remote ready to go to watch Jason and the Argonauts. Jason and the Argonauts sitting next to me. I've been reading the back here. What's kind of missing? Clock's gonna ring. It doesn't really give you the specific, normally when you go to a movie, it gives you a few sentences that says what the heck the movie's about. This back here just has a lot of stuff about the movie in general and behind the scenes stuff, but it doesn't really give you the story on any jacket that I see. So I just printed out something on the internet quick just to kind of read it. So let me read that to you. And then I have my snacks ready so I can enjoy a movie. So Jason has been prophesied to take the throne of Thessaly. When he saves Peleus from drowning, he does not recognize him as the man who had earlier killed his father. Peleus tells Jason to travel to Colchis to find the Golden Fleece. Jason follows his advice and assembles a sailing crew of the finest men in Greece, including Hercules. They are under the protection of Hera, queen of the gods. Their voyage is replete with battles against harpies. Oh, gotta love the harpies. A giant bronze Talos, a Hydra. Oh yeah, those are cool. And an animated skeleton army. And that's what spooked the bloody Jesus out of me when I was a kid. Probably shouldn't say no, I don't want to say bloody hell out of me. There we go. That sounds better. All brought to life by the special effects wizardry of Ray Harryhausen. Cool. So I printed that out. So I already have my LaserDisc loaded up. M&M's, Goomies, Sprees, Red Vines, and a nice ice-cold Stewart's root beer. I'm ready. Cool. So, let's assume position. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Just about right. Blankie behind me if I get cold, but it's summer, so I'm not going to get cold. Let's watch the movie, and I'll come back and chat about it a little bit. Oh, Zeus ate too much candy. Oh, but what a movie of the gods. Welcome to my review. Stupid. Jason and the Argonauts. I don't want to have a nip slip here. Even though I'm a dude. Jason and the Argonauts. Great movie. Lots of emotions stirred up from watching this movie once again. Last time I watched it was back probably the 80s when I originally saw it, and then I'm guessing someplace in between there I've seen it again pop up on TV or something. My wife had never seen it, so last weekend we finally had a time to sit and watch the movie. Have to say, out of all the LaserDiscs I've watched so far, or that Zeus has watched so far, it's the movie of the gods. It looked stellar compared to some of the movies I've watched so far, meaning the actual video itself on my TV and my LaserDisc player looked crisper, looked really good in some shots. I don't know if they enhanced things or cleaned things up or what, but it looked really good. I mean, to me, like DVD quality. It looked really, really nice. But yeah, great movie once again. So I thought we would just chat. I decided to put a little toga on. It's been a while since I wore a toga. I'm in my 50s, so I think probably the last time I did anything like that, wear a toga to a party, was the 80s. Yeah, I feel kind of airy now. So let's chat a little bit about Jason and the Argonauts. So pretty stellar movie. Like I said, visually looked great on the TV. For the time period, I guess it's probably pretty common for voices to not sync with the video. So that was a little bit off. But I think that's pretty common for movies from 1963. I don't know the technology, and I'm guessing they probably video it and then do the voice afterwards and blend the two together. I'm not a professional. Maybe somebody out there can say. But, you know, it was noticeable for me watching it. So, at the beginning of the movie, let's see, I want to try to think of some things that kind of popped up to my head immediately. So, the Talos was probably the first part that really started grasping my, oh, this is going to be a little bit spooky, or get some of those emotions riled up again. So Talos is that big bronze or metal, I don't know what you consider it, yeah, bronze, the Isle of Bronze. So when they go into, and yeah, I'm going to talk about the movie, so if you haven't watched it yet and you don't want to hear this, kind of skip over some parts, I guess, or watch it and then come back to my video. But when they go into that little treasure chest that Talos is sitting on, or that room, whatever you want to call it, and the door shuts, that's when it goes, oh yeah, stuff's going to kind of start coming down right about now. That's where my wife even kind of went, whoa, what's going on? And she normally sits right there. We kind of look at each other like, oh shit, it's about to hit the fan. So they open the door, and then all of a sudden, this thing is huge. It's like the size of cliffs and mountains. And they all go running back to the ship, and they try to start paddling away. And looks like they're going to probably get away, but then Talos walks around to the other side of the cutout where they can get back out to sea, and picks up the ship and starts shaking it, and people fall off. That was pretty awesome. Amazingly, right after that, you know, the whole battle, obviously, there's a way to kill Talos, and I'm not going to talk about that part. You need to watch the movie. But the idea behind it and what comes out of Talos, my wife saw, what is that? What's that stuff coming out of Talos? It was interesting. So that part was grasping, gripping, a little scary still, even for a 50-some-odd-year-old dude. The animation of the creature itself, or Talos, yeah, pretty intense battle that they had with it, and they had some cool way at the end to kind of maybe kill him off. We'll leave it at that. I'm amazed that the ship got fixed after what it went through. They seem to fix it within a few minutes. Well, it's a movie, so I guess that's pretty common. So that was the first thing that really kind of grasped my attention. What's next? The harpies. At first I called it a succubus. My wife goes, that's not no succubus, that's a harpy. All I remember as a kid is these harpies didn't have much clothes on. And so for a movie in the 63, and me probably seeing this movie for the first time in the 70s, I'm all, what's on TV? Even though there were creatures, interesting battle between the blind dude and the harpies, and how that whole thing kind of wraps around, and how the harpies may get beat, or maybe they don't get beat. Well, you'll have to watch the movie to see. But that was a pretty cool scene. I enjoyed that whole fighting scene and how they designed it. It looked, you know, it's not realistic compared to what this day and age is. But back then it was pretty like, oh, those are real monsters, right? So the harpy scene and the battle between it was pretty awesome. And I liked the whole idea of them trying to defeat the harpies. That was Phineas and the Harpies was that chapter. Looks like it was chapter 17. Talos, by the way, was chapter 13. There's lots of stuff leading up to those two at the beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie starts out kind of fun. And immediate plunging of the sword in somebody. And to kind of get the story started, like, why is Jason here and all that. Again, I don't want to talk about that too much. I just want to talk about a few of the finer points of the movie. The clashing rocks was pretty awesome. you know, it's kind of funny seeing the waves and the water and the ship sinking and all that. That was actually kind of fun. It's kind of funny watching it now, but back then as a kid I could imagine, you know, back then you didn't have the internet, and my mind wasn't as spoiled as now and knowing what humans can do. So back then it was kind of like, oh wow, mountains can do that, and everything was fresh and new. When the first time you see something, it's like, wow, this is awesome. Nowadays it's kind of like, yeah, we're so used to seeing stuff on the internet that's disgusting that not too much phases us anymore. But back then it was pretty awesome scene, and that was the Clashing Rocks, and that was chapter 18. So that was kind of a big scene. If you're into boats and water and splashing and all that, that was actually pretty cool. Let's see. Colchis and the Golden Fleece. So the whole thing is about, obviously, Jason getting that fleece, right? That scene was probably the, not scariest, but, you know, definitely in terms of a monster, the Hydra. They did really good on the animation, or whatever you want to call it, for back then, of making Hydra do his thing. That was pretty awesome battle. I enjoyed that one considerably. Even when it first came out, my wife and I both looked like, oh yeah, this is going to be an awesome scene. So the whole Hydra battle was pretty intense. Some sword play, some multi-headed dragon type of beast. So that definitely, you know, lots of, for a kid, lots of monsters that kind of pop up that back then in the 70s, 80s, I wouldn't have been used to, right? So it would have been, whoa, this is, you know, kind of scary stuff. One that gets me the most is, though, chapter 20, the battle with the skeletons. Like I said from the beginning, and like I said now, even at this age, you know, when you get a good skeleton in there, it can be freaky. And I would say out of all the monster scenes, that one is the most intense. When the skeletons start popping out from the ground, and you have a whole bunch of them looking at you like this with swords and stuff, it's like, holy crap! You better have some underwear it depends on, because the shit's going to start flying. Hopefully you're alright with a little swearing. I have to swear a little bit. You're not going to let some aggression out. All this, you know, being cooped up at home too much. But anyway, the skeletons, still an intense scene, still a great scene. I think the best battle of the whole show, and it's towards the end of the movie, obviously. Yeah, the skeleton. I think I'm hearing something. There better be no skeletons around this place, damn. Anyway, the skeletons. Pretty awesome scene. If you like skeletons, I think you're going to enjoy the hell out of the skeletons in Jason and the Argonauts. Towards the end of the movie, it gets a little mushy. Kind of funny after the movie's over. There is obviously Jason, and there may be a lady counterpart to him finding it during the movie. Really pretty gal. Yeah, I mean, there's a little of everything in this movie. Fighting, love, scenes, the bad tyrant at the beginning, the Greek god Zeus. Yeah, the scenes of the gods, by the way, that's probably why I'm wearing this, because I thought that was kind of cheesy, but kind of fun at the same time, where they're all looking down into their little pool and seeing Jason doing some of the battles that he has to go through, and sometimes they're giggling and laughing. It was really kind of fun. So if you want to kind of have a little of everything, a little scariness, a little fun, a little dorkery, yeah, Jason and the Argonauts is definitely a big thumbs up. One of my favorite movies, a movie that I'll always remember, and the first thing that I'll think when I think of Jason and the Argonauts is the skeletons. Guaranteed. So hopefully you enjoy my little review. Nothing's in depth. This is just me being dorky, wearing a toga, or a Greek, whatever you want to call it, being liberated. And do I have anything underneath here? Stab your eyes out now, folks. You don't want to think of that. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed me walking around the room, showing off where we show our videos and movies, and doing my first review of Jason and the Argonauts, and what's going to be next. I'm seriously thinking Sinbad. I'm in a role right now for doing Jason and the Argonaut type of movie, and movies that I enjoyed as a kid was the Sinbad series. awesome movies, so I think I may have to do that next. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Happy Friday to you. Peace out. See ya. Oh, my stomach. I ate too much candy, really. I did eat too much candy. Oh. But this is a very stretching, like I wear a pair of sweats. I have more room to expand. Thank you for watching Movie of the Gods. Scouts? Scout. No. No more. Crap. Yeah, damn, son of a...